That's a really good portrait. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So I enjoy shooting many things, but mainly I enjoy shooting, or I focus on portraits and product photography. And the reason why I got to both is pretty opposite itself. And while many might think that portraits and product photography are similar in many ways, I'd argue that they couldn't be more far apart. Well, of course, that depends on the style you go for with either, but for me, those two are very, very different things. Let me explain. See, when I shoot products, I like to spend a stupidly long amount of time perfecting and polishing the products that I'm shooting, the pieces themselves, because the idea of that is that the piece itself, the product, was made by someone, and the product is as much the outside as it is the inside. So if you're trying to sell something like a product, the first thing that catches anyone's attention is how it looks. Then they might try it on if you're speaking about something like headphones, and then it goes from there. But you first need to get their attention with how it looks. And someone has spent a lot of time designing the look of that product, so that's what I try to do. When I shoot products, I want to bring out the design in that. It wasn't designed with a scratch on the side or smudge or something like that on the product itself. So it's my job to get rid of that before I go to shoot. Now that extends through the shooting process itself. So when I go to the editing part, I will remove stains and I will remove unnecessary reflections that weren't intended, because those are not part of the product itself. Those are not part of the design. But portraits, to me, are completely different. Because for portraits, I don't like to do that much polishing. I don't like to do too much pretentious posing. I don't like to do too much setting up unrealistic scenes. So for me, and it seems that I'm definitely a part of a minority here, but I find the true look of people absolutely fascinating. And that's why when I started practicing my portrait photography, I watched through a ton of different kinds of tutorials on how to soften skin and how to smooth it out and how to make it look, you know, professional. Doing those tutorials, I was never happy with the results that I got. And well, I thought that maybe I'm just doing things wrong, or I'm not understanding the tutorial itself, or maybe I'm just it's just much harder than it looks, and I'm doing something different. Well, at one point, a streamer that I was following did a big collaboration with a big brand. I don't want to say names because, you know, I don't want to trash talk anyone. But this streamer did a big collaboration and product launch with a huge brand. And a part of that was that this huge brand took him to get his photo shot and placed his photos into that ad campaign. And when he came out with them, and when that campaign was released, I could not stand those photos. I thought they were horrible. That person in those photos did not look like the person, the streamer that I had been following. I had spent hundreds of hours watching this guy, and that person, I did not recognize that person in that photo. What I saw was maybe an AI version of a plastic model of that person. That's about the time I realized I do not like the look of those over-processed, extremely smooth, no imperfection types of photos. I think in those photos, it's not a portrait, it's a product shot. It is that person is now a product that you're shooting. It has nothing to do with the actual person that you're shooting. And that's when I went back to the drawing board and started looking up a lot more portrait photographers and looking at the different styles. And I found that the ones that spoke to me had a much more authentic feel to them. No, at least visible, softening of the skin, no unnecessary blemish removal, no changing of the features, because what? The ones that I found actually beautiful, actually good, were the ones that were realistic. So that means the wrinkles, they're there. The imperfections, they're there. Because that imperfection in you is what makes you you. So why get rid of it? Now I know that might sound strange to many, but I honestly think that there is such a thing as a beautiful, realistic portrait, because I've seen a lot of them. I've taken, in my opinion, a lot of them. Well, some of them. I think it's just a matter of finding the beauty in the natural. Now, does everyone want their portraits to be realistic? Well, I would go out on a limb and say that a lot of the people who think that they don't just haven't given it a chance and haven't seen the responses they might get from others, from actual people who know you as to what the end photo would look like. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that I don't edit the photos at all, because there are a lot of imperfections that are only temporary. If you have a pimple on your face or something like that, it is temporary. So those, I think, are free game. Having that zit for the next 3 weeks on your cheek, that's not a part of who you are. That's just a temporary thing that will go away. So something like that, I will of course remove. But if you have a mole, that is a part of you. And that is a part that makes you you. So I don't want to take a photo of the idea of who you want to look like. I want to take a photo of you. But the parts of the person that are permanently there, like gray hairs, wrinkles, bags under your eyes, those tell a story to me. Those speak to me of experiences had, of lives lived, of things seen. And I don't want to touch that. That is a part of you. And in the end, I am taking a photo of you, not your perfect idea of you. But what do you think? Do you like the look of the modern portraits where it's all smoothed out skin, no imperfections, no human-like features, where everything looks like it was made by AI? I know that's a little harsh, but you get my point. Or do you prefer the kinds of portraits from people like you and me and everyone else who have their imperfections but are not afraid to wear them as a part of them? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one. This was a little weirder, but still, I think relevant. Okay, catch you in the next one. Bye.